My name is Yuki Kariya, and my presentation is about goal setting in sport. So, what is goal setting? Goal setting is used by top-level athletes and achievers in all fields. Setting goals gives you long-term vision and short-term motivation. By setting a goal, athletes become more productive and effective. Goal setting is about cognition and motivation. And the reason why it is cognitive is because athletes has to think and plan for the future. It is motivational because the process of setting goal is energizing and it should be fun. This slide is an example of a player with a good goal setting. I believe everyone knows him, but Michael Phelps is the most successful swimmer in history, and he is known as the greatest Olympic athlete of all time. At the age of 23, Michael Phelps owned 16 Olympic medals and 14 of them were gold. These amazing accomplishments were accomplished through dedicated training, competition, and effective goal setting over a long period of time. This slide is an example of a coach with a good goal setting. Joseph Pep Guardiola is known as the most successful coach in the soccer world. Guardiola coached for FC Barcelona in Spain and won 14 trophies in 4 years. He also received 20 individual awards and became the FIFA World Coach of the Year in 2012 as 39 years old. His planning and goal setting is outstanding. To set a personal goal, you must
Goal setting helps to overcome anxiety by giving the athlete something to aspire to.
Goal setting is absolutely paramount. It allows the athlete or the player to have focus, it allows them to have direction, and it greatly aids their motivation.
Goal setting is a feature of the best elite athletes. Olympic medalists, people that have done very well at World Championships, use goal setting better, in more effective ways than athletes who don't make the medal podiums. They set very clear goals for themselves. They set short-term, intermediate, long-term goals. They constantly record those things. They'll talk to their coach about those things. In other words, they'll express them.
There are short-term goals and long-term goals. Athletes need to have both, as short-term goals are stepping stones to achieving their long-term aim.
This year my goals are to get my times down. I'm not worrying about placings or coming first or whatever this year. I just basically want to get my times down and step up another level in athletics, because I've been a junior, like a highly ranked junior, but now I'm sort of breaking through into the seniors.
Goal setting can be made easier and more successful by applying the SMARTER principle. Goals should be specific. What exactly are you trying to accomplish? Measurable. You should be able to quantify results. Action-oriented. What needs to be done to reach your goal? Realistic. The goal should be achievable. Timely. The goal should be achievable within the time frame. You need to be able to evaluate how you're going. And there needs to be a reward for achieving important milestones.
It's one thing to think you're going to do something, it's another thing to actually tell somebody you're going to do it, because then you can't hide, you have to actually do it. There's nothing very technical or very mythical about setting goals. All the people who are high performers in the world, not just of sport, but in the world, are good goal setters. They have very clear goals.
Effective goal setting guidelines. Positive statement. Be precise. Set priorities. Write goals down. Keep operational goals small. Set performance goal and not outcome goals. Set realistic goals. SMART principle. First, positive statement. This means to express the goal positively. Second, be precise. Set precise goals, putting in dates, time, and amount so that athletes can measure achievement. Third, set priorities. When athletes have several goals, give each priorities. This helps them to avoid feeling overwhelmed by having too many goals and help to direct their attention to the most important ones. In this video, Dr. Jared Spencer,
somebody looked at all the
who is a
research
performance
articles on
psychologist,
goal
will
setting
explain the
and
importance
athletes.
of writing the goals
And what they
down.
found was there were
He
500
explains
separate
that the
articles.
athletic performance can be
And on
increased
average,
by writing the goals
of
down.
those 500
This slide
articles,
is also not a continuous
an
slide.
athlete could
You will
increase
have to click the
his
page for
or
every
her
slide that
athletic
has a
performance 8 to 16% by writing down their goals. 8 to 16% by writing down their goals. How many miles would you need to run to get 8 to 16% better? How many weights would you have to lift? How many of you have your goals written down?
Keeping the goals small is very important so that it is achievable. Keeping the goals small does not mean to aim for a low level of goals. This is a principle of having a short-term goal so that they can progress towards a long-term goal. This video is a perfect example. Her long-term goal is to juggle continuously without letting the ball hit the ground. She decided to break down her goals into small pieces and start off by letting the ball hit the ground between each juggle. Her next step is to juggle twice, then let the ball hit the ground. Once she is able to juggle twice, then she will move to 3, 4, 5, and so on. There are 3 different types of goals. Performance goals specify an end product of performance that will be achieved by the athletes relatively independently of other performers and the team. Outcome goals focus on the outcomes of sporting event and usually involves some sort of interpersonal comparison. Process goals focus on specific behaviors exhibited throughout a performance. The guideline recommends setting the performance goals instead of the outcome goals. So, which types of goal is best? The previous slide said the performance goal is recommended instead of the outcome goals. However, a study shows that the 2 multiple goal strategy are more recommended than individual strategies. It's important to set goals that athletes can achieve. Athletes must remember these 5 important characteristics to achieve the goal: specific, measurable, action-oriented, realistic, and time-bound. There is 4 reasons goal setting results in improved performance: directed attention, effort mobilization, persistence, development of new learning strategies. Having a goal setting gives the athlete focus on their task. When athletes has no specific goal, his or her attention wanders from one thought to another without any particular direction. That's why it is good to have directed attention. Once an athlete's attention is directed towards a particular goal, it is necessary for the athletes to put forth the effort necessary to achieve that goal. Persistence is a byproduct of effective goal setting. Athletes must persist for a long period of time to be success. I have found an article that states the thing that is common between David Beckham and Tiger Woods. These 2 are very hard workers, and they both spend hours and hours on working on their specific sports skill.
We've played 2.5 minutes of stoppage time.
This video is a goal highlight
England
of
trail
David
by
Beckham's
2 goals
free
to 1.
kick. David Beckham is known as the best free kick taker. However,
Beckham
he
could
was not
raise the
given
roof
enough
here with a
effort.
goal.
He spends an hour after his
I
team
don't
turn
believe
on
it.
working on his free kick.
David Beckham scores the
It is
goal
very
to
difficult
take England all the way to the World Cup final.
Pistol packing, itchy finger, trigger happy, try to trap me, being rap, why you tap me, backstab me, break the fake, fall from race, tell me lies, time flies, close your eyes, come with me. Come with me. Yeah. Come with me. Yeah. Trust you, you never hurt me. Now I'm disgusted, just adjusted. Certainly you fooled me, ridiculed me, left me hanging. Now shit boomeranging, right back at ya. Big long range, narrow-minded, left me blinded. I co-signed it, shit backfired, but I'm bouncing back. I grind it, now me with better pressure. You comprehend me, you want to end me, you offend me. It's drama, feel the trauma. Come with me.
David Beckham can do. He can bend it over the wall easily. Waiting for the whistle from Jair Marufo, and then Beckham will be ready to go. There it is. Beckham shot! David Beckham, his first of the year, and the Galaxy have a 2-goal lead.
Goal setting promotes the development of new learning strategies. It is important for the athletes to learn new and better way of accomplishing a skill or a task. There are 5 principles of goal setting by Locke: clarity, challenge, commitment, feedback, task complexity. To improve the individual or the team performance, set clear goals that use specific and measurable standards. Telling someone to try hard or do your best is less effective than try to get more than 80% correct, or concentrate on beating your best time is more clear and effective. One of the most important characteristics of goal is the level of challenge. Athletes are often motivated by achievement, and they will judge a goal based on the significance of the anticipated accomplishment. Make a goal more challenging. If the goal is easy and not viewed as very important, then the effort may decrease. Goals must be understood and agreed upon if they are to be effective. This does not mean that every goal has to be negotiated with and approved by coaching staff, but it does mean that goals should be consistent and in line with previous expectation and organizational concerns. As long as the coaching staff believes that the goal is consistent with the goals of the team and believes the athlete assigning the goal is credible, then the commitment should be there. Interestingly, goal commitment and difficulty often works together. The harder the goal, the more commitment is required. If athletes have an easy goal, they don't need a lot of motivation to reach their goals. In addition to selecting the right type of goal, an effective goal program must also include feedback. Feedback provides opportunity to clarify expectation, adjust goal difficulty, and gain recognition. It's important to provide benchmark opportunities or targets so individuals can determine for themselves how they are doing. Athletes should receive feedbacks from coaching staff, but they can also receive it from their teammates. Overwhelming is one of the issues to achieve the goal. Highly complex task needs more time and effort. Athletes with those that are tough on themselves tend to have a high level of motivation and end up burning out from pushing themselves too hard. There are 3 team approaches to setting goals: the planning phase, the meeting phase, the evaluation phase. The planning phase is the first stage that focuses on assessing athletes. In a need assessment, the coaching staff carefully reviews the team as a whole and each individual relative to areas of needed improvement. The meeting phase is the initial meeting in which team goals can be reflected upon and discussed. This can be a very useful meeting in terms of discussing the previous year performance, what to expect for the future, teach how to set the goals by using SMART principle. The evaluation phase of goal setting should take place at the end of competitive season, but also throughout the season. Goals set by the team and by individuals should be monitored regularly. Without constant monitoring, feedback, and evaluation, the goal setting process will not be effective. This is a photo of Lionel Messi game analysis from January 27, 2013. As a striker, Messi's goal is to score many goals as he can in each game. He scored 4 goals in this game and he did accomplish his goal. But his coach told him to utilize the left side of the field more. As you can tell, he didn't go to the left side of the field during this game. This is an example of the evaluation after a competition.
Okay, can you tell me a little bit about you?
My name is Hope Clark, and I'm the head women's soccer coach at Georgia College.
Okay, so what is your goal? What is your goal setting?
Each year those goals will change, but the overall goal of this program is basically to develop young women, make them great members of society, good mothers, good wives, and certainly good employees. And that's the big picture. But as far as the soccer program goes too, our ultimate goal is to get to the national tournament and sustain that and go each year. As far as short-term goals, we would like to win the Peach Belt Conference and certainly try to at least attain top 1 or 2 within that conference each year.
Okay, so have you heard about the planning phase, meeting phase, and evaluation phase before?
Yes, I have.
Okay, can you explain me a little bit about those?
Okay, well, the planning phase, again, that will change each year, but as a staff, we sit down and we kind of talk about what are those immediate goals and the short-term goals. What are we trying to succeed in that season? And taking a look at what our recruiting class really brings in and how do they then mesh with the current players. And that's what kind of changes your goals each year. So that's our initial intent. You know, what are we specifically looking for in the short term, and what are we going to get out of that initial championship season? In the meeting phase, as a staff, we're meeting every day to reassess those goals, okay? And then as individuals, we meet with our players. Before preseason, we're talking about, you know, what do we need to accomplish? Then we meet with those players after preseason to talk about what we have seen and what are going to be their specific goals and to help guide the goals of the program for the actual season. And then we would meet again at the end of the season to reassess those goals and have we achieved those short term and looking forward into the long term goals. And then my last one would be the
evaluation phase?
The evaluation phase, yes. We will have 2 different evaluation phases, or 3 you could say. I mean, we have one after preseason, one at the end of the season, and then one at the end of the year. And those are individual meetings to assess their individual goals as well as the long-term goals of the program.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
All right.
If athletes decided not to follow the goal-setting guidelines, SMART principle, or Locke's goal-setting theory, most likely they will not achieve their goals. These are some examples of common goal-setting pitfalls. Poor written goal statements, fail to devise a goal attainment strategy, failed to follow the goal attainment strategy, failed to monitor performance progress, discouragement.